Chapter 16. Jeremy falls through the darkness until he lands crumbling in a fierce impact with the ground below. The pain is immense and shooting through his body, but he slowly forces himself to find the means within to rise to his feet. Standing still, rubbing his eyes, he tries to regain focus as the room around him begins to take shape in the darkness. I know this place too. Shit, this is AJ's kitchen, Jamie says to himself as he realizes that he is now standing between the middle island of the kitchen and the counter holding the sink in the home of his best friend. No. Take me out of here, Jeremy screams to himself as he clenches his eyes shut and starts pounding on his own head with his fists. I don't want to be here for this, he says softly as he collapses to the floor with his back to the counter holding the sink. Sitting quietly, he rocks back and forth until he hears someone approaching. Through the opening to the left of the refrigerator across the kitchen from Jeremy appears AJ, wiping his eyes. He's wearing a white t-shirt and loose-fitting plaid pajama bottoms, leading Jeremy to realize that this too is taking place in the middle of the night. Jeremy had been so horrified he hadn't realized how dark it is in the room until just now. AJ opens the refrigerator and, reaching in, he grabs a plastic bottle half a gallon of milk. After taking a look around, possibly checking for witnesses, he continues guilt-free to take a drink directly from the should-be communal container. After placing the container of milk back into the refrigerator, he swiftly closes the door. He turns around in the darkness and out of nowhere he jumps back against the refrigerator in fright. As he scrambles to the doorway, Jeremy feels his pulse raise with fear as well. After reaching the doorway, which houses the light switch, AJ hurriedly flicks it upward, causing the lights to shine bright, illuminating the entire room. What the hell are you doing here? He shouts as Jeremy covers his face, not wanting to see what comes next. He keeps his eyes covered tightly to avoid witnessing the murder of another of his friends. Wilt was bad enough, but how could he bear to see the death of his best friend in the entire world? But after a few seconds, he doesn't hear a scream or even a struggle, only AJ speaking again. Dude, Jeremy, what the hell are you doing here? He hears AJ direct the question to him specifically. Jeremy timidly uncovers his face of his shaky hands and sees AJ staring directly back at him in the newly well-lit room. Both boys are taken aback a little by the new light and need a second to fully recover. Jeremy leans over the island and looks very oddly at his friend. His head tilts to the side as he is quite confused. You can see me? Jeremy asks his friend. Of course I can see you. You're standing in my freaking kitchenette. He looks over at the stove clock. 1:27 in the morning. What the hell are you doing here? AJ asks as he walks over to the opposing side of the island, a little shaken by his friend's late night breaking and entering. You wouldn't believe me if I told you, but you've got to get the hell out of here, Jeremy says as he runs around the island and grabs AJ by the shoulders, squeezing them hard enough for AJ to jerk away in shock and pain. If you're not here, he can't kill you, Jeremy continues on, troubling his friend even further. What are you talking about? AJ says, confused and understandably scared. Are you off your nut? He whispers out as he backs away from Jeremy. Dude, just get the hell out of here, AJ says nervously as he walks across the kitchen to the door leading to the backyard. AJ, you have to listen to me. My dad is going to kill you if you don't get out of here, Jeremy spouts out. AJ turns to him in sullen face, and he shakes his head as he unlocks the deadbolt above the handle of the door. Look, I don't know how you got in here, and to be honest, I am a little impressed that you did it without waking anyone. And it's obvious you need to talk something out. He opens the door facing away from Jeremy and continues. But it's the middle of the night, and we'll talk tomorrow. He stops abruptly as he takes 2 rigid steps backward. Turning around slowly, Jeremy watches as AJ stands, trembling, just a couple of steps in the kitchen. Tears rush to AJ's eyes as he begins to bring his hands up to the knife handle sticking out from the left side of his abdomen. Blood surrounds the knife as it soaks into the white shirt and spreads all around. Jeremy rushes from behind the island as fast as he can as the arms of his hooded father reach around AJ. His right hand grabbing the knife and slowly pulling it out. The crimson-covered blade reveals itself as Jeremy's father continues removing the dam that is keeping the majority of AJ's blood within his body. As blood begins to flow from the cavity in his best friend's chest, Jeremy tries to run to help, but the world becomes hazy and everything starts moving slowly around him. Feeling as though he is running through thick liquid, he tries to save AJ, but is only able to make eye contact one last time with his best friend. Unable to change reality, he's only able to watch as the blade slowly flows across AJ's throat, spraying blood into the air. Jeremy reaches out and screams as the red mist splashes over his face and AJ is pulled into the darkness. Thank you for listening. If you're enjoying the story and how it's going, please subscribe so you can get every chapter as it comes through. Discuss in the comments, plot threads, and where you think the story's going. Share with anybody you think might find it interesting. Until then, I'll see you next video.